Long ago, a small bird dropped a precious grain of food into the hollow of an ancient tree. Determined to retrieve it, the bird confronted the tree and demanded its grain back. The tree mocked the bird, bluntly refused, and told it to leave. Angered but undeterred, the bird sought out a carpenter, insisting he cut down the tree for stealing its grain. The carpenter, astonished, rejected the absurd request, stating it was unreasonable to fell a tree over a single grain. Furious, the bird escalated the matter to the king, demanding the carpenter be punished for refusing to help. The king listened but dismissed the issue as trivial, unworthy of intervention. Undaunted, the next morning, the bird approached the elephant handler, urging him to make the king fall off his elephant during a ride as retaliation. Shocked, the handler refused to harm the king over a mere grain. Feeling dismissed, the bird turned to a tiny ant, asking it to crawl into the elephant's trunk to cause chaos. The ant initially refused, deeming the issue insignificant. Suddenly, the bird showed its fierce side, threatening to seize and crush the ant with its beak if it didn't comply. Terrified, the ant agreed. Its actions triggered a chain reaction. The elephant panicked. The handler grew anxious. The king issued orders, and the carpenter was summoned to cut the tree. Frightened, the tree quickly returned the grain. This story teaches that, no matter how small, persistence and cleverness can create great change if one never gives up on their goal. A tiny bird, though frail, proved that persistence and wit can overcome seemingly impossible obstacles. After losing a grain in a tree's hollow, the bird demanded its return but was ridiculed and refused. Undeterred, it approached a carpenter, insisting he chop down the tree to retrieve the grain. The carpenter, surprised, deemed it absurd to destroy a tree for one grain and refused. Angered, the bird took its case to the king, demanding the carpenter's punishment. The king, hearing the story, found it too minor to act upon, fueling the bird's resolve. Unwilling to give up, the next morning it sought the elephant handler, asking him to make the king fall from his elephant as revenge. Stunned, the handler refused to endanger the king over a grain. The bird pressed on, approaching a small ant and urging it to crawl into the elephant's trunk to stir trouble, creating pressure on the king, carpenter, and tree. The ant hesitated, finding the matter trivial. Then, the bird fiercely threatened to crush the ant with its beak. Frightened, the ant complied, setting off a chain reaction. The elephant panicked, the handler reported, the king commanded, and the carpenter was called to fell the tree. Afraid, the tree returned the grain. This story teaches that strength lies not just in physical power, but in determination, intelligence, and connections. Despite its size, the bird effected change by refusing to quit, thinking creatively, and leveraging alliances. The lesson reminds us that anyone, no matter how weak, can achieve their goals with persistence and strategic action. Once, a small bird lost a grain in a tree's hollow. When it demanded the grain back, the tree laughed and refused. Unyielding, the bird sought justice. It first approached a carpenter, demanding he cut the tree to retrieve the grain. The carpenter, shocked, said it was unreasonable to destroy a tree for one grain and refused. Furious, the bird went to the king, demanding the carpenter's punishment. The king found the matter too trivial to intervene. Undeterred, the bird devised another plan. The next morning, it met the elephant handler, urging him to make the king fall from his elephant to exert pressure. The handler, appalled, refused to harm the king for such a small cause. The bird didn't stop. It approached a tiny ant, asking it to crawl into the elephant's trunk to cause chaos, indirectly pressuring the king, carpenter, and... The ant resisted, deeming the issue minor. The bird, showing its fierce resolve, threatened to crush the ant with its beak. Scared, the ant agreed. Its actions sparked a chain reaction. The elephant panicked, the handler reported, the king ordered, and the carpenter was summoned to cut the tree. Fearing destruction, the tree returned the grain. This story teaches that even the smallest or weakest can wield power through persistence and cleverness. Facing a mighty tree, skilled carpenter, powerful king, and massive elephant, the bird used wit and determination to create a domino effect, solving its problem. The lesson emphasizes that true strength lies in resilience, creativity, and connections. No matter the challenge, refusing to give up and thinking flexibly enables anyone to achieve great change. The tale of a small bird losing a grain in a tree's hollow offers a profound lesson on the power of persistence and intelligence. When the tree refused to return the grain and mocked the bird, it didn't surrender but resolved to seek justice. It approached a carpenter, demanding he fell the tree, but he refused, finding it absurd to destroy a tree for one grain. The bird, undeterred, went to the king, requesting the carpenter's punishment, but the king dismissed the issue as insignificant. Unfazed, the bird approached the elephant handler, urging him to make the king fall from his elephant. The handler refused to harm the king over a trivial matter. The bird then sought a tiny ant, asking it to crawl into the elephant's trunk to create chaos. When the ant hesitated, the bird threatened to crush it with its beak. Terrified, the ant complied, triggering a chain reaction. The elephant panicked. The handler reported. The king ordered, and the carpenter prepared to cut the tree. Fearing destruction, the tree returned the grain. Though small compared to the towering tree, skilled carpenter, mighty king, and enormous elephant, the bird's persistence and cleverness affected change. The story teaches that strength lies not in physical power, but in resilience, wit, and the ability to connect. No matter how daunting the challenge, anyone can overcome it by refusing to give up and thinking creatively. Small actions, driven by determination, can lead to great outcomes, inspiring us to believe in our potential.